Warm welcome to the CEO of the Los Angeles LGBT Center, Lori Jean.
Welcome to West Hollywood on this historic, phenomenal day. We have gathered this evening in great relief and joy and celebration because today was a victory for love.
On behalf of the city of West Hollywood, I want to commend the Supreme Court of the United States for standing on the right side of history in today's decision. No longer are the rights of couples on the ballot. They are protected by our Constitution.
Today, liberty won. Today, dignity won. Today, the Constitution won. Today, we all won.
After literally decades of blood, sweat, and tears, the freedom to marry is finally the law of the land. And for the first time in history, our nation's highest court has determined that we are entitled to the same rights and privileges as every other American. Since I was a young lawyer, I have carried a copy of the United States Constitution in my briefcase. Today, it finally includes us all.
For the first time ever, all Americans now live in a country that respects same-sex couples and our families. Today, we have been embraced by our nation, and it feels great. And today, June 26th, will forever be LGBT Rights Day in this country.
We came from a state of Tennessee where we were denied equal protection. We were not considered a married couple. We've been together for 20 years, 7 years legally married. Thank you. And according to Tennessee, we were legal strangers. So every time we would cross a state line, we would be in a new state that would recognize us, and then in Tennessee, we were not.
Many of us spent much of our lives believing that we would never live to see this day. But here we are. And as the Confederate flag is falling, the rainbow flag is rising. And it's about time.
We carried a very mighty burden as a people. We first carried the closet, where we were all secretly hidden, and that allowed our enemies to define us as perverts, as myths, as creatures of the night. Well, maybe creatures of the night is okay. But in essence, something we weren't. We allowed that to happen. And then a terrible virus came into our family and took away hundreds of thousands of our people. And now here we are. This is our day. This is our day. The price we paid was huge, but the victory sure is sweet.
We believe in a West Hollywood that is a home and a refuge for our LGBT community and for all those yearning to bring about social change. Our city has always been at the forefront of the fight for marriage equality. Thanks to the visionary leadership of West Hollywood's founding city council, we led the way to providing legal benefits for same-sex couples. We paved the way for same-sex marriage initiatives throughout the country after passing our own resolution of support for marriage equality.
History will judge this day as the pivotal win in our unfinished battle for full and complete equality. Our road to victory has not been easy, and it has been paved by the countless actions of many, both heroic and mundane. the transgender people of color at the Stonewall Inn who'd finally had enough. The brave plaintiffs and the brilliant attorneys who fought for our rights when there was little hope of victory. The activists and the leaders who stood up for all of us, and LGBT people everywhere who dared to come out of the closet. Including couples in small towns with no legal protections who raised children and lived decent lives in spite of the bigotry they faced on a daily basis. Today is a testament to all of those people and to the growing numbers of straight allies who have stood with us.
I just am here, like Lori Jean. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime. And I am so happy to be here, and I am so thankful. I am here to thank those wonderful attorneys with Lambda Legal, the great attorneys with the ACLU and the National Center for Lesbian Rights, and the gay and lesbian advocates and defenders out in Massachusetts. I want to thank all of the activists from the Center, from HRC, from Equality California. I want to thank the researchers at the Williams Institute at UCLA. And I want to thank the Supreme Court, at least 5 of them. And I want to thank the American people, because they have changed their views about us, and they're on our side now.
When I think about what happened today, the thing that's playing over and over and over in my mind is justice for all. And as a kid who's queer and likes to wear men's clothing and isn't gender conforming and grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, I know. There's black people there. When I was growing up, and I didn't feel like there was anybody like me who lived in my neighborhood or appeared on TV or was anywhere remotely close, and I thought about getting married, it wasn't a reality. And today, when I think about justice for all, it's a reality.
And today, we recognize all the new plaintiffs that are out there, the plaintiffs at the Supreme Court that have made this possible. Because on June 28th, 2 days later, after that fateful day in 2013, I got to marry this guy. And everyone said, all right, it's been 5 years, you've gone through this battle, you got the ring, did it make any difference? And we're back to tell you today, it made all the difference in the world. It made all the difference. Because we got to associate, we got access to the language and the rights, and now we can say that about every single brother and sister of ours across this nation. It is time. So today is about love. We're going to be short because today is about love and it's about celebration, and I know there's cocktails to be had somewhere in West Hollywood tonight. I want a few myself. But it's time to also double down and make sure that we take care of our brothers and sisters that are not currently protected under ENDA and all these other laws that you're hearing about tonight. We've got to continue the work. But for tonight and this weekend, you better be sure that we're going to party and celebrate marriage, for sure. Because now we have a bigger voice and we have a bigger platform to amplify our truth, to make sure that we can absolutely fight against those misconceptions that we made a choice. We didn't make a choice. We were chosen to change history, all of us.
I just want to know where all the straight allies are. Let's hear from the straight allies. That's awesome. Because none of us can do what we do if we don't have straight allies.
And we really appreciate the love and the support from all of you. I want you to think of one thing. If you don't have the time to read Justice Kennedy's opinion, just read the last paragraph where he talks about equal human dignity. It's a term that he's talked about in numerous rulings in favor of equality. And he has cemented his legacy as the justice that not only cares about LGBT people, he cares that those LGBT people are treated like humans, and they're treated like Americans. I love to see the rainbow flag, because the rainbow flag is a very important symbol of our community, but this is the most important flag. And it's something we should all cherish. And if you haven't gone on Facebook, make sure you go on Facebook. The White House is decorated in rainbow lights tonight.
As Justice Kennedy wrote, "No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family."
Hello, everybody. My name is Maria Roman, and I am a proud transgender woman. I wrote something because I know I would get emotional, so I'm just going to read. Isn't this amazing to see everybody here celebrating something we wanted for so long, right? Here we go. Today I stand here in front of you as a proud Latina trans woman. I am honored that I have been given this opportunity to speak to all of you. On behalf of my agency, APAIT, and the Latina Trans Coalition, and as a member of the West Hollywood Advisory Board, I am grateful that I'm talking not only for myself, but for many community members. As a transgender woman of color, today I celebrate, along with my sisters and brothers, this historic moment that has been fueled by pure love. Yes, honey, we did it! I am also happy to say that I am engaged today. To my lovely man, Jason Taylorson. Isn't he cute? I must be honest, there was moments during the marriage equality fight where I felt, does this apply to me and where I fit in? However, regardless if transgender individuals feel that it applies to them or not, the fact is that today I can say that all of us have the ability to marry in any state we want. Today, the first call I received was for my mother. You know, I was there visiting a few months ago, and she said, "Oh, honey, we should have your wedding party here at the house, you know?" And I said, "Mom," she lives in Florida, and I said, "Mom, I don't know if I can get married here." Today, she said, the first thing she said crying is like, "Oh my God, honey, you can get married here in Florida." Our marriages will not redefine marriage, and isn't a threat or change to anyone else's marriage. Our marriages will be about love, faithfulness, respect, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. Our marriages reaffirm an ongoing lifelong commitment that strengthens our families and society, and affirms the commitment to the one that we love.
Oh my God, we did it! I can't believe this day. I can't believe it, and I keep finding the same sentiment with everyone. You know, we've all been fighting so hard and so long. I'm from the South. I'm a total redneck. I went to my first civil rights rally when I was 17 years old, and it was against the KKK. And I weighed about 4 pounds. I was like a skinny little blonde girl in a Chevette. And I was so scared, and I was by myself. And it was terrifying, but you know what? I haven't stopped since. This is our movement. This is our time. I didn't react the way I thought I would this morning. I sat on the couch completely frozen for an hour. And my computer's in flames, you know, flying. And I'm just sitting there like, I can't. We did it, you guys. We did it. God bless each and every one of you and everyone out there, and especially those who didn't have this day in their country, and God willing, we'll make it happen everywhere. I love you so much.
Babies! Oh, let's just get it going. Come on, sing with me. A marriage equality. Come on. A marriage equality. Shut up. Y'all can't even sing.
In the Bible it says, sound the trumpets on your joyous occasions. And raise your rainbow flags, because in the book of Genesis, after the flood destroyed the world because the people had been misbehaving, God put a rainbow in the sky, saying, never again will I destroy the world for your bad behavior. And Jewish tradition teaches us that rainbow is a reminder to us as well to make sure we make it a better world. So raise your rainbow flags, raise your rainbow flags. We are making it a better world.
Today was a magnificent defeat of bigotry and ignorance. It was a crushing blow to the anti-LGBT movement, which has achieved its might at the expense of our very lives, often and shamefully in the name of God. Well, it looks to me like if God is with anyone, she's with us.
So I picked up the phone and I called a woman that I've known actually since the 1970s. And I called Gloria Allred and I said to Gloria, please. Well, we talked to some other people. We reached out to some people to take this case that we wanted to sue in California, and nobody said we should take the case. Not one organization, nobody in the movement, everybody said we should not take this case because we were going to ruin it in California. So we called Gloria Allred, and Gloria Allred said, don't worry, hon, I'm taking the case. Here she is, the woman that had the guts to start marriage in California, our attorney, Gloria Allred.
Thank you, Robin. Someone said to me today, thank God the Supreme Court gave us our rights. And I say, no one gave you your rights. You fought for them and you won them. You have earned it through sweat, blood, tears, marching, picketing, lobbying, getting elected, litigating. You have fought. You have earned these rights. You are overdue for these rights, and now you're going to enjoy them.
I want to thank the generations of activists who have been fighting to advance marriage equality. We stand on the mighty shoulders of advocates who bravely and tirelessly fought for full equality under the law. I also want to acknowledge Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom for his leadership in San Francisco, daring to direct his city county clerk to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples.
But now I want to roll quickly to 2004, to my two heroes, to Robin Tyler, to Diane Olson, and Reverend Troy Perry, my client, and his partner, Philip DeBlake. And they came to me, and Robin came to me and said, Gloria, we're going to the courthouse in 2004, Beverly Hills. We want you to come with us and witness this. We're going to be turned away. They are going to deny us the right to marry. And I said, I will not be a witness to injustice. If you want to fight this and win the right to marry in California, we're going to do it together. And they did. 4 years later, we won that right in the California Supreme Court, and because they were the first to announce that they were going to fight for the right to marry, they were the first to be married in LA County. Give them a round of applause.
But as we celebrate, we cannot forget that our fight is far from over. In many states, employers still have the right to fire us, and landlords can evict us. In almost every state, parents can force their children, their LGBT children, to go through damaging so-called reparative therapy. Merchants can refuse to serve us, and the haters can continue to attack us. In this year alone, our nation has seen 9 transgender women murdered. And today, on this day of progress, the LGBT Center in Memphis, Tennessee, was informed by the district attorney that the man charged with civil rights violations for threatening to bomb their center and kill them all was released on a harassment charge because LGBT people are not covered under Tennessee law. All of these things are still happening because of our sexual orientation and our gender identity, and we clearly have much work still to do.
So I am proud that today's decision protects each and every person's right to marriage, no matter who they love. But we know the fight for full equality isn't over. We must fight for employment non-discrimination and housing protections, especially for our transgender community. We must fight for equal access in schools and public facilities. We must fight for competent care for our youth and for our aging. And to our brothers and sisters in Louisiana and Mississippi, we're ready to fight for you too.
But tonight we celebrate. We celebrate especially because today's decision was about so much more than marriage. Today's decision was proof that we can change the world. At long last, justice has prevailed and the freedom to marry is ours.
So in conclusion, I can tell you I've been doing this for almost 40 years. We're going to continue this battle. Always be impatient with injustice and keep standing up as you are doing and speaking out and fighting back. And we will win equality in every aspect of life together. And let's celebrate!